And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Amun Re. Now this is not a new game, this is a game that's 12 years old, and although there is a lot of talk that it's going to be reprinted soon, it is a game by Reiner Knizia, who is a designer who I often think does not put a lot of theme into his games. It's kind of here in this game, but he has designed a few brilliant things in his career, and I think this is one of those. Amun Re is a great auction-style game, which is not one of my favorite mechanisms, but I really like how it's done in this one. Let me show you. Amun Re takes place over 6 rounds, but those 6 rounds are split into 2 eras. After the end of round 3, you're going to score the board, and then you're going to remove almost everything, but not quite everything. Let me show you. At the beginning of each round, players are going to turn over cards equal to the number of players. So let's say there's 4 players in the game. We turn these over, and each of these cards is placed in the province that it corresponds to. So here's Karga, which is placed down here. Here's Amun, and so I actually don't know how to pronounce any of these old Egyptian names, so you're just going to have to suffer with my bad pronunciation. But these are the 4 provinces that will be in a 4-player game that players are going to bid on. Each player is going to get 1 province per round. Now the way that players will bid on provinces is they're going to take their bidding token, and maybe I want to bid 1 on this province. And then black says, okay, I'm going to bid 0 on this one. And white says, no, I want that one. So they bid 3. They outbid black. And then blue says he wants this one for 1. After everyone has bid, then anyone who's been outbid has to rebid, but on a different card. So maybe black says, no, I want this one. Green says, oh yeah, I want that one. Blue says, fine, I'll take this one. Once everyone has done that, then players are going to take an ownership token of their color and place it in that region to show that it's theirs. So blue owns this one now, black owns this one here, white has this one, and green has this one here. And we no longer need the bidding cards. Some of the provinces, when you win them, will give you an automatic bonus. For example, this one here gives you a power card and 12 gold for winning it. What a great thing. Now, after players have done that, each player is going to be able to buy things that they need. They can buy power cards. Power cards are cards that let you do special things. Maybe this one here lets you move. These won't make sense unless you know how to play the game. But this one here lets you play this card and someone can't outbid you by 1. They have to outbid you by 2. Some of these cards also are scoring cards. This says if you have the most power cards, you'll get 3 points. So they're scoring cards that you'll use in the scoring phase. Some just give you straight up money. You can buy power cards. You can also buy bricks. And you can buy farmers. Now when you buy these, you're going to be using this chart that's on here. If I want to buy, let's say, 2 power cards, I'll have to pay $3. If I want to buy 4 bricks, I'll have to pay $10. So I'm going to decide how many of each I'm going to buy. Maybe I want to buy just 1 of each and I only pay $3. But the more you buy, you can see the more the price increases. When you buy farmers, you're going to place them in spaces that are available for farmers in a province that you control. Farmers will give you money at the end of every turn. When you buy bricks, you can place them also in a province. You can place 1, 2, and then eventually, when you build your 3rd brick, it changes to a pyramid. When you eventually build your 2nd pyramid, you replace it. This is just to show 2 pyramids. And you can have 3 pyramids, etc. And you can have multiple bricks. There's even a power card that lets you build a pyramid with only 2 bricks rather than 3. Power cards, I already mentioned those, so players will be putting all these things out. Now, the amount of power cards that you buy is limited by the different provinces that you have. So, for example, I have this province here. I can buy up to 4 power cards. If I had both of these provinces, let's say I'm the red player and I have both, I can still only buy up to 4. But if I have, my only province is a spot with only 1 power card, then I'm only going to be able to buy 1 power card. After players are done buying, they're then going to make an offering to Amun Re. Each player can contribute however much money they want with these cards that are money, or they can steal from the offering. If they play a theft card, they're actually going to get 3 coins worth of cards back. Everyone's going to put however much money they want face down. You reveal it. Whoever puts down the most money gets 3 things of their choice, farmers, bricks, or power cards. Second highest gets 2 things of their choice, and everyone else gets 1 of their choice, unless you played this, in which case you get nothing. You then take the total amount of the offering, plus any cards that might maneuver this number. So let's say the total amount was 13, then the temple will go here. 23 or higher, 2 or less down here. So you can see that this temple number is going to fluctuate between 1 and 4. This number is important because each farmer is going to pay out that much money to anyone who has farmers. And you'll notice that there's some properties on the board that already have farmers built into them. So the higher that number is, the more you'll get. Some spaces on the board, like these 2, are going to give you money no matter what, if you have farmers there or not. Other spots will give you money, but only if the temple is in a camel space, which incidentally is the 1 and 2. So if you control one of those, you might want the number to be smaller. This will continue. At the end of round 3, there will be scoring. You will score for each set of pyramids that you have in your 3 provinces. Since there's 3 rounds, you'll own 3 provinces. So if you have 1 pyramid in each of those provinces, you'll score points. And then if you have 2 pyramids in each one, you'll score points, and so on. So spreading out pyramids is a good idea. You also get points from any of these cards that you have. You might get points if you have all your provinces are on one side of the river, or all your provinces are on one half of the board, things like that. You will also basically then, when you're finished, remove everything from the board. Everything comes off. All the farmers come off. All the ownership markers come off. However, the pyramids stay on the board. Any pyramids and things stay on the board, and then you'll reshuffle the province cards. You will then start putting out more, and players will again be bidding on the different provinces, except now, not only do they have their innate special abilities, but they will also have pyramids built in. Some provinces also give points. If you'll notice, this one down here has 2 temples. This will give you points if you control it equal to whatever number the temple is times 2. So if the temple's at 4, this one's worth 8 points. Over here, Edfu is the same thing, and so does another province up here. So those are different ways to score points. After 2 rounds of this, of the scoring, whoever has the most points is the winner. There's a couple of things I really like about this game. The first thing is the auctions. I love the bidding higher than someone else on the card. That's a cool auction. It's done in Vegas Showdown and other games of that ilk. It's actually not done as often as I'd like to see it done, and anytime a game has it, I like it. And this was the first game that I saw it used in, and I enjoy that because it keeps you from saying, I'll bid 1, I bid 2, I bid 3, I bid 4. Here you have to, the jumps are a little bit higher than that, and you have to, if someone outbids you, you have to go for something else. So you have to think when you go somewhere, if I go here, is it worthwhile to bid a little bit higher? Because if someone outbids me, I'm going to have to go get something else. And there's always the good thing that you can get a province for free. The problem is, especially in the second half, if one of the provinces was not bid on in the first half, and now the second half it comes up, there's not going to be much build in that province, and so it's not going to be worth as much. And so you'll find that the auctions in the second half of this game get a lot more tense. And that's the second thing I really enjoy about Amun Re, and that is the fact that it's essentially 2 games. There's game 1 and game 2, but in game 2, when everything's clear, when there's this reset, this wipe, the pyramids stay there. And it gives you a bit of theme. There's this historical dynasty. In fact, if you want to see a really humorous session report on this, you can go to Board Game Geek, where someone really added a lot of chrome to that idea, but you're like your grandson or your great-grandson in the second half of the game. So the pyramids are still there, and some provinces have gone dramatically up in value and others have gone down. And you can be doing very well after the first half of the game, but still not win the game, and I find that fascinating. The pieces are good, even if these bidding tokens and bricks do look a little bit like chiclets. But the little pyramids, the look of the game, the colors, the card money, this game has some pretty good quality for a game that came out 12 years ago, and it has a really good look. I'm not the biggest fan of Ancient Egypt, but this one I think does it well and has a really solid game to back it up. I played this game with 3, 4, and 5 players and all the different configurations, and it works really well. Each time it's tense. I'm trying to get the properties, but it's not that long of a game. It's basically just have the auction, buy the stuff, maybe some power card play that happens, the special cards, and they're neat and fun to do. And then get the money and go. But then there's that last phase, and I enjoy this too, that whole sacrificial phase where you have to decide whether you want money or whether you're going to give money, and then where do you want that number of the temples to go? Do you want it to go up to 4? That helps a lot if you have a lot of farmers. If you don't have a lot of farmers and you have some places that are just giving you money, why should you help everybody else? It's a really cool aspect, and this game is just really a beautiful design. If you've never had a chance to play it, I highly recommend Amun Re. Dice Tower Judgment, staying in my collection.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.